Welcome back to Land Investing 101, where we are going to be talking about easements again and the termination of easements. So in the last few videos, I told you what an easement is. I told you how to create an easement. I told you the scope of an easement. And now we're going to talk about how easements end. So generally, when easements are made, they are made for an infinite amount of time. So they usually have no end date. So all easements are assumed to be perpetual. Perpetual, meaning they keep going on. But there are 7 ways to terminate an easement. I have my notes here, and I'm going to share them with you. Number 1, by terms stated in the easement. So if when you conveyed the easement to Uncle Tom and you said, hey, Uncle Tom, we're going to give you this easement for 10 years to use. And then after that, we're going to find another way. That is one way. By terms in the easement. Number 2, when released by the holder. Number 3, when abandoned by the holder. Number 4, when there is a merger by title. Number 5, destruction of the serving estate. Number 6, the necessity ends. And number 7, by prescription. So let me go over these really quick. Easements end. Why and how there is termination of an easement. So number 1, stated in the terms, we already went over that. Number 2, when released by the holder. So if I have the right to use an easement and I say I don't need it anymore, that's good. Termination of an easement. That terminates the easement. Number 3, when abandoned by the holder. So I stop using it. So for example, I have an easement to cross over someone's property to get to my land. But I make another road on the other side of the property, and I've been using that for the last 20 years. I stopped using that other easement. That will be considered abandoned by the holder, abandoned by me. That's number 3. Number 4, when there's merger by title. So for example, if I've been crossing over my cousin's property to get back and forth to my property, but then I buy my cousin's property. Now, because the titles are together, the merger of the title, and I go to the courts and I say, I want to make this one piece of land, now the easement disappears. Destruction of the serving estate. So this is exactly what it sounds like, right? If you're using the easement, there's a destruction of it and you can't use it anymore. There's a termination of that easement. 6, necessity ends. So this is exactly what it sounds like. There was a necessity to cross that land, but you have now another road. There's no more need to do that. So that easement has ended. And 7, by prescription. So this is by somebody else taking away your easement the same way that you can gain an easement by prescription. Go back into how creation of easements, and I explain easement by prescription. So those are ways to terminate an easement. We will be back again soon with more tips, verbiage, vocabulary, land investing tips on how to invest in land. I hope this is helpful. Check out our land at homescape.net. Check out our blog at homescape.com, where we talk about a lot about this and about building tiny homes and sustainable properties. And also check us out on Twitter, where we tweet about architectural cool design at Homescape, HOMSKAPE. We'll talk again soon, guys. Subscribe to the page and get notifications when we put up a new video. Like the page and share it if you think anyone can help, or this would help anybody. That's all, folks. Have a great one, guys.